making our own soap today. It's super fun and I'm so excited to share this with you. But first we're going to play Spot the Quapple. If you're not familiar with what a quapple is, if you look on the bottom left of our screen, you'll see a red apple with a Quest Q in it. That's our logo for educational purposes here. So you'll see our countdown has started. You have 30 seconds. So if you're finding it, you'll see 5 of them. You're looking for 5 of them. The background is soap and bath bombs. So you should see 5 red quapples. We have about 15 seconds left. Let me know if you're finding it in the comments, and if you're joining us today, where you're joining us from. I'd love to hear from you a little bit more. So less than 10 seconds. So one last look, looking for 5 of them again. 10, 2, 1, and here they are. You can see all 5 of them. And they're all their red goodness. So let us know if you found them in the comments. Let us know where you're from. We'd love to hear from you. So what do we need? There's a list on your screen of all your ingredients and the gear that you need to do this, all the equipment you need. Don't forget your personal protective equipment, your PPE, so gloves and eye protection, so on and so forth. But this does take a little bit of time, so I'm gonna head to past me. So go ahead and take it over past Heather. So here I am with all of our soap baking supplies. The main things that you'll need is a source of fat, water, and some lye. So in our case, I brought up a lot of different examples in terms of what type of fat you can use. We have some coconut oil here, shea butter, olive oil, and grapeseed oil. There's a ton more you could do. Jojoba oil, actual lard itself. What they used to use was lard. In this case, what we're going to be doing today is the process called saponification. Saponification is actually a chemical reaction between triglycerides and potassium hydroxide or sodium hydroxide. They combine to create a glycerol or a fatty acid salt, which is actually soap. So saponification equals soap. The other thing we're going to need today is some liquid. We have distilled water here, and in addition to that, we have distilled vinegar, or just regular white vinegar in our case. The reason why we have this is it actually doesn't go within the soap itself. This is for our protection. So when the sodium hydroxide gets onto something, it can actually burn through cloth. So it's really important that you always have a parent around, or you always have somebody that is well known and well versed in this sort of chemical. The other thing is it's really important to be in a well ventilated room and for you to wear your PPE. Glasses, protection in terms of your skin, all that stuff. Because if you do get it on you, it will burn. The only thing that will stop the burn is, in fact, vinegar as well. If you add water to lye, that can create a massive chemical, very fast chemical reaction, also known as a partial explosion or an explosion. I've never done it before, but I've been warned off several times by it, and I have no desire to do it. So you want to make sure that you are actually adding your lye to your water, not your water to your lye. So again, lye to your water, not your water to your lye. Very, very important. So for our recipe today, we want to make sure that we measure out 54 ounces of olive oil. You can either melt this olive oil down, you can just leave this whole container outside in the sun, or even in your car if you want, and just leave it for a little while, a couple hours, it'll turn into liquid. And then you can pour it out from there, but you just want to make sure that you're being very, very precise with your measurements. So 54 ounces of coconut oil today. This container is actually 56 ounces, so all we need is this whole thing minus 2 ounces. So this is going to take a minute. Next, we're going to measure out our lye. So I don't think I have enough in one. I've already put a tare on our scale, so calibrated to 0 with the bowl on it. So I'm just going to add 9.7 ounces. 9.7 ounces. Next is our water. We need 24.25 ounces of water. I've already put a tare on this as well, so it's at 0 with the bucket on it. We're going to go directly into the bucket. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our lye to our water. Again, remember, it's lye to water, not water to lye. You'll notice when we put this in, it's going to heat up really, really fast. So right away, I'm going to clean off my spatula. I just want to make sure that I have as pure quotes of an environment as I can get. So I'm not putting unwanted things like oil and stuff in there yet. It just needs to be the lye into the water. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put it down here so that there's not as much splashing. Okay, I'm going to immediately start mixing. Be sure that you're not right over top of it. You're keeping your face away from it. You're just going to start mixing. So automatically you see this steam. That's hot. You breathe it in, it'll burn your nostrils. Okay, so I'm just mixing it until it's nice and mixed and clear. All right, so now I can pretty much see the bottom of it, and if you look in the bucket, you can actually see my spatula. I'll go ahead and push it down so you can see that it's actually really clear. It kind of looks like a swimming pool. Now I'm going to take the temperature with this non-touch thermometer. Just put it down a little close to it, hold down, and 133.1 is what we get. Okay, the range of temperature really matters in our lye and water mixture and our coconut oil mixture. We want to make sure it's between 90 degrees Fahrenheit and 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Both of them together, they need to each be between 90 and 130. Okay, so this will just take a little bit of time to cool down. We'll give it some time, check back and make sure it's below 130. The same is true with our coconut oil. Okay, and then we're going to pour it in, and now the soap making will begin. As you can see, I've cleared the decks quite a bit. I just want to make sure that we have enough room. We have our molds here. I'll give you kind of a preview of our molds. There's a couple molds here. Some of my favorites, they look like sunflowers when you pull them out. The silicone molds are really great because you don't have to worry about cutting them. They'll just pop right out when you're ready to. Again, that'll be a little bit down the line. Have some hearts here, some normal bars. Okay, and then this is your standard, what you would see at like a craft fair or any sort of block or per cut, or each block of soap is cut one at a time, right? So measured out and cut one at a time. We're about ready to throw this thing together and watch some soap happen. You guys ready? All right. So I'm going to add both of these coconut oils. This is just that one big clump that we did before. I just split it into 2 containers so it's a little bit easier to manage. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and pour it in. Okay, pouring this one in now. All right. Now I'm going to pulse this. Okay, watch it come together a little bit. You'll see it goes from semi-clear to opaque. Okay, now I'm just going to start mixing it and continue to mix it. So you can see that it's thickening up pretty fast. What we're looking for is for there to be a trace when you pick up your mixer and you move it around. So you want there to be a trace behind it, meaning when it's touching, when whatever's falling off of this is touching and you can watch it fall through the liquid base there, that means you're at trace. And that's basically at the point we want to add some of our smells. So we're going to do that right now. I have a couple different options here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do about 20 of the sweet orange drops. 20. And this is when it starts to get really quick. So you can see we're really at a high trace now. It's nice and thick. If I pick it up, you can see that there's a trace behind it, right? It's leaving a trace, right? It's not just one solid, not just coming off in a normal liquid form. Okay? I'm going to just pour this directly into our mold, just like this. Directly into our mold here. Leave it down just a little bit. Tap the sides to make sure that it's nice and even. You can put a little swoopty swoop on the top of it if you like, depending on how you want it to look. You can also add coloring to this, food coloring, or there's some clay that you can put in, whatever you prefer. In this case, we're pretty simple folks, so we'll just leave it as simple as it can as we have it here. All right, I'm going to try to pour this in as well as I can. Again, tapping this down. And then I'm just going to scrape over the top here. Our next step is to actually cover these, and we want them to slowly cool down. So what we're going to do is cover these with just some paper, just like this. Just like that. Tuck them in with a nice towel. Do the same for this one. Tuck it in with its own nice towel. And let this all cool down slowly for about 24 hours. All right, it's been 24 hours. Our soap is cured. The total process of saponification has actually happened. So when we pull off these towels, you'll see soap, the soap itself. You'll see that I'm not wearing gloves right now. That's because we no longer have raw lye or sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide, right? So right now, all we need is just our normal hands because this is actually soap, what we're gonna see. So we're gonna start with the brick. This one, I came back and checked on it a few hours later and it was still warm. So the process that you really wanna make sure happens is a slow cool down. So that's why we put towels on top. If we had a blanket, I might even throw that one on top of there. So the slower you can cool down, the better, and the better soap bar you're actually gonna come out with. So let's go ahead and remove it. Hey, not so bad. Looky there. If I feel it, it feels hard, just like soap would normally feel. It is kind of a funny texture on the top. You can see where the high spots were and where the paper hit. But if you want it to look nice and pretty, all you have to do is run a quick piece of sandpaper over it and it'll be nice and smooth. You can carve it if you want. I've never done that just simply because I don't have time for that. But you definitely can do that if you like to. Roses, swans, whatever you want to put together. And for these, remember this was the molds, the silicone molds of both the sunflowers and the hearts. Well, they're not the prettiest things in the tray, but let's see. Let's start with this guy right here. With these silicone molds, they're really great because you can just pull them away and then pop them right out. So I'm just going to push it out just like this. And there we have a piece of soap. It's heart-shaped. It's nice color. Had we spent a little bit more time on shaking it and making sure there was no air bubbles, it would probably be a little bit more perfect. But for us, this will work out great. If you smell it, it smells just like an orange creamsicle. So exciting. All right, let's do these sunflowers. Same thing with this. I'm just going to turn it out. And there's our sunflower. Again, I can rough up the edges or actually smooth out the edges from these rough sides, and no one will even notice it was rough at one point. So we cut up all the bars. We have a really great amount of soap here, and I think we're done for the day. Back to you, Heather, in the future. There you have it, guys. On the screen, you can see our bowl full of soap. Our sunflowers turned out really cute. I actually went in and cut the large loaf pan or the square block, and that's what you see in there as well at the bottom right of your screen. But pretty cool, right? The last thing I want to mention is at this point, saponification has actually happened, but in order for you to take it into your shower, it's really important that you let these bars sit for 6 weeks. Now, I know that's a long time, but if you don't and you take them into the shower or the bath now, you'll actually end up with kind of a muddy, mucky, goopy mess. So it's really important that you do give it some time. So just lay them out in a single layer in a closet somewhere. You can put them on a pan or whatever, just so it has good airflow, not in direct sunlight, and let them sit for the next 6 weeks. After that, you can take them into the shower with you or the bath, or use them however. You just use it on the side of your sink anywhere, and they're ready to go, full soap. So I hope you had a good time and enjoyed it. Don't forget to come back on Friday where we'll be making solar s'mores. So thanks for joining me today. Until next time, continue onward with your quest for knowledge, and thanks for watching.